Well, well, waking up another day in the land of mirrors. Oh boy, lots of reflection constantly anymore. Go to bed reflecting, wake up reflecting. Today I'm going to talk about the Illuminati's huge sacrifice. And the little blurb that I wrote for the YouTube description says this: those we consider masters have long advised us not to judge by appearances. Advice most of us have not heeded. Me too. It's easier to judge than it is to love. What mirror has the Illuminati held up for us to see? Who is willing to look, really look at the world we have unconsciously co-created? Boy, spirit is doing a number on the human race, let me tell you. Especially those of us that claim to be awakening. And we are. And we are awakening. It's not just an idle claim. It's reality. And yet even those of us that are awakening still struggle to get beyond the polarizations that we have lived with for such a long time. The Illuminati, anytime I put the title Illuminati in one of my videos, it seems to do better than when I put just a regular title about something spiritual, because people think they're going to get some dark, juicy nuggets so that they can hate more. I don't know if that's true of everybody, but I suspect it's true of some people. But over the last several years, especially the 21st century years, I have reflected a lot and looked at a lot of information about the Illuminati. It has been a subject of great fascination for me, as well as many around the world. These people that seem to run the whole world and run it poorly, very poorly. And some of the testimony that I've heard from insiders that have been raised in Illuminati families reveal tremendous abuse by the bloodlines or the 13 families that rule the world. Tremendous abuse of starting with the little children born into these families. And as the hidden hand testimony, which some of you may have seen, some of you not, but there have been Illuminati people that have been told to tell their story, and one of them was called The Hidden Hand, and there's been some other ones. Some of them are available on my website. But they've revealed that their job is to be mostly evil. I mean, they have to be 95% evil, or they don't ascend to the higher levels, because that's their role. And I want to remind you that are Christians of the time that God called on a lying spirit to go, and who will go for us, God said. And again, us is plural, just like so many other times in the Bible when it talks about God. We think of God as a singular being. And yet, God in the Bible is often used in the plural. Us. Let us do this. Let us make man in our image. Who will go for us? And a lying spirit came and said, I will go and be in the mouth of the prophet as a lying spirit. And God said, go. God commissioned him to go. And even the book of Job, God said to the devil, to Satan, have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in all the earth? And God gave Satan permission to take everything away from Job. And Job didn't handle it very well at first, but then he saw the light. And the latter part of Job was greater than the former part. Anyway, the Illuminati have been trained in hell. They have been given hell in their upbringing. I don't know about all of them, but I've seen enough testimony to know that it is a pattern. And I know that pedophilia runs rampant in the elite classes in our world. I mean, they are known pedophiles. George H.W. Bush is a horrible pedophile. Henry Kissinger, many others. I'm not going to name all the names, but we've been told that they are terrible pedophiles. I wrote an article back in 2006 or 2007, I can't remember the exact year and I didn't look it up, called An Unlikely Hero, George W. Bush, An Unlikely Hero. And at that particular time, those in my circle were really hating George W. Bush. I myself thought he was the worst president that had ever been in the presidency up till that point in time. There couldn't be a more stupid, worse person to be president of the United States of America. I mean, he was horrendously horrible in my eyes. And Spirit showed me another side of the coin and asked me the question, how would you feel if millions and millions and millions of people around the world were thinking hateful thoughts of you every day of your life? How would you feel if that kind of energy was being turned on you? And this isn't isolated. These people that have been running the show, apparently, have been really hated in the 21st century especially, because this is when we began to really wake up and take it to heart. It was 9/11 that turned the whole thing around, when people started saying, hey, there's something wrong with what they're telling us. They're not telling us the truth. But this George W. Bush in the case of the early presidency, and it continues with Obama. Maybe it's different people that are doing the hating, but it's still hating. It's still hating. And we haven't heeded what the Master taught us, what Jesus taught us. Love your enemies. Bless them that persecute you and say all manner of evil against you falsely. Bless them and curse not. But we haven't heeded that. I haven't heeded it. I've fallen way short because I judge by appearances, even though I know intellectually that I've been told not to, even though I've been told time and again things are not what they appear to be. Look beyond. But it's so hard for us to look beyond, because looking beyond means looking within. And when we look within, we recognize the unconscious patterns that are in us that lock us into this polarized reality we call the world, this matrix where we are enslaved by our own unwillingness to see, which is why Jesus said to the religious people in his day, the Bible believers, if you will, the fundamentalists of his day, if you would say you are blind or recognize your blindness, then you would see. But because you say you see, your blindness remains. Ah, the paradox. When are we going to get the message that the Masters have been telling us? The Illuminati has been holding up for us a mirror They are appearing to be our enemies. Could they actually be our friends? Could they have actually made the ultimate sacrifice, sacrificing their own innocence at a very early age, by training and by design, so that they could hold up a mirror that would allow the human race to see our own short-sightedness, to see our own hatred, our own divisiveness, our own unwillingness to own and claim the dark side of our own self instead of pushing it away and putting it always out there on them. The ninth wave is an opportunity for us to grow up. It's an opportunity for us to see beyond what we've been able and willing. We've always been able. We haven't been willing to really look at the sacrifice of darkness, of living lives, and in some cases perhaps generations and generations of lives dedicated to showing us the other side of ourselves, the hidden side, the shadow side of our own being. It's in me. I know it's in me. Someone wrote to me, "You talk about these people that want to control. Do you want to control?" Yes. Yes, my ego would love to be in control of those things that hurt it, that feel bad. But I know the ego judges by appearances, because that's what it's been trained to see. That's been the life experience, lifetime after lifetime. And it's easy to say they. It's so easy to think if only they would stop doing what they're doing, then I could live in peace. Well, maybe the message is, when I stop judging, then I will stop being judged. I create the polarity, or I should say, the polarization. I create the dueling in myself. I create it and I experience it because I accept that as the reality instead of the higher reality that I am love. These are very, very deep and provocative things that I'm looking at with you. Very deep things. And this is the way home in the ninth wave. This is the way we're going to consciously co-creating, by making our darkness light, by bringing the shadow to the surface so that we can look at it. It's not about Bush or Obama or the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds. It's not about the evil people that rule the world. Yes, what they're doing is backwards. It's living backwards. Because we've all been living backwards. We've all been living in ignorance and unconsciousness. It's time to wake up, and we are waking up. To what? To our ability to love. And I've always said, and even the Beatles said, love is all you need. That's what the Masters said. That's what the songwriters have been telling us. Love is all you need. Think about these things today. Reflect on what I'm sharing with you, because it's a sharing from your own heart, from your own soul. It's wisdom that's coming to all of us from our higher self, from the divine, from God. Think about these things. Take them to heart. Love yourself. Forgive yourself. Be sorry for what you have created unconsciously. I leave you with that. Namaste. God bless you.